All right, click the links, John Channels here. Become a member over at Subscribe. So I got a mailbox. Want to mail me some comics. So diversity requires erasing art. Doesn't seem like a fair trade-off to me. So censorship's coming for Tintin in the Tintin in the Congo is not politically correct for the modern globalist sensibilities. It's like, well, we could just do we need them? How do I say that without without glowing for morbid? So this is a fascinating development because it's showing you that diversity apparently destroys French culture in a 1984 manner. They're erasing the past. It's actually horrifying when you think of it and you just continue to extrapolate. So they're doing this obviously all over the West, where they're destroying the past art, the monuments, the statues, and replacing it with commercial globalist plastic F-doll garbage. They did it in Ireland. It's not the Merry Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ, or Yule, the like winter solstice, Northern European, combination of Christmas thing that they had. It's Happy Winter. Enjoy the winter lights, Ireland. That yes, they got ratioed on Twitter, but it's like, enjoy the winter? So what exactly are you celebrating? It's like the Biden's Christmas celebration. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that. That was some eyes wide shut satanic stuff. So the Biden, oh yeah, you guys are so triggered by that. Yeah, where's the Christmas in it? Okay, you got us there. This is an offering to Moloch. So in America, they tore down the founding fathers and replaced them with George Floyd icons, who is or was a career felon with a hard drug habit. What does it say about a country when they destroy history and replace it with an illiterate criminal who robbed women in a home invasion? Well, it says that society is not going to be around for long. Don't have to be Nostradamus to predict that. Stock up, friends. You're going to need all that rice and everything else. So this is the vibrant cultural enrichment that diversity brings, the literal destruction of history by criminals who are unable to create beauty, so they destroy it. Stop and think about just this one example. An artist created art, and they did this with the other book. Speaking of that, the movie that's coming out, oh gosh, what's that called? Johnny Depp was in one of them. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That author, I forget the guy's name, where they're constantly rewriting his stuff. It's like, just the left wing. It's like, so you guys really can't exist with diversity of thought. No, we need to censor it and deplatform it. So this guy created this book. It's a comic book drawn and written. It was put out into the universe. It's a snapshot of his version of reality frozen in space-time forever. And there's something precious about that. It's a piece of human history. You can always look back at it as a product of its time. Yeah, it's fiction for sure, but it's a product of the art and culture of 100 years ago. But enter stage left, these sinister globalists, and this frozen reality offends them, or they pretend it does, and they say, no, we must destroy it, alter it, make it impure. Why? Because it offends the modern school marms, except that, the Twitter activists, the slacktivist type of people, except that's part of diversity, is tolerating other people's cultures, including, unfortunately, the French. Sorry, French. Not destroying them and changing them to fit the new people. So this guy comes along. I could show you a picture of him, but it would just set off the comments, so I can't. This guy comes along who's not French, but was allowed to live in France, starts an organization to erase the French culture. That is their idea of diversity, to destroy the French and replace it with plastic globalism, to start everything from year zero, because whatever you create today will be offensive to the woke school marms of tomorrow, because it's not an end goal. It's, I don't know if I can say this. They use the Karen phrase, and I was thinking about that, and it's like, there's a lot. The Karens are, 90% of them are left-wing Karens, and it's fascinating to see these. A lot of the cases are left-wing liberal women just absolutely learn the way of the world, and they learn that the people they're virtue signaling for absolutely hate them, and they have a little bit of an eye-opening go down the rabbit hole moment there, a moment of clarity where they see the way of the world, and they have to re-examine their whole worldview. And it's interesting because there's some people in CG who are having that moment of clarity, and they're seeing and they're taking a shift in a different direction. It's fascinating to see them on Twitter. Anyway, the thing is, this isn't an end goal; it's a journey, or rather, the hidden end goal is the destruction of the West, which they're very well able to accomplish. The thing is about the Karens, I wanted to say is that I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but they're in all groups. F it all. Anyway, so when you have a woke funded industry that gets donations or tax dollars, you can't stop. Otherwise, you're out of a job. That's why the grift never ends. They just keep censoring. They rewrite, they redraw the art, and they say that, well, this is the thing that the artist created. It's not. It's the Marxist creation, the recreation. And it's an abomination that is passed off as the original because it's got the guy's name on it. It's got the book title on it. We only got here because of the slippery slope of being nice to these, I'll edit this on the fly, useful idiots and their masters. Instead of calling them what they really are, this is how it works. They start this, and by they, I mean these globalists who fund it, an anti-istophobic organization, and they get government money and donations. That's the business side of it, which sounds like a scam. Yeah, in America, some of the Pox people do it. They go to an industry and they say, "Hey, I will be a consultant, and I'll basically keep your Pox employees cool, so that the union doesn't strike and organize or something with a small consulting fee of $50,000 a year or something." And so the industry sometimes will pay it, sometimes won't. All depends on like the current climate if it's willing to fight it. And because the video game kind of went through that with the Zoe Quinns and the Anita Sarkeesians, where they just kind of stopped listening to them, and their whole grift was Anita Sarkeesian wanted to be like a video game editor and be paid a consulting fee, and finally the video game industry just started ignoring them, where she had to get on Twitter and start begging, like literally saying, "You should hire me as a consultant so I can protect you from making these faux pas." It's like, yeah, we can do that ourselves. We don't need to pay you. So the other side of this is the bigger concept of how do they define Islamophobicism, because it's anti-French for them to destroy French art. If they're offended by the French culture, then they don't have to read the book. What a shocking concept. But that's not good enough, because censorship means that they don't want you to read the material and make up your own mind. There's this other issue about the equity concept. They start with so much of their philosophy, it started with conclusions, but they never show their argument that supports a conclusion because they don't have one. One of their philosophies is that people are equal, the tabula rasa theory of Bolshevism, except a child knows that this is not true. How dare you? How dare you speak reality? And for some reason, they take offense to that. All we ask them is for further evidence, and they never have it, but they continue to build on this false, a priori argument or something, assuming something's in existence without proving it, something like that. Think about the hubris required here. They're destroying things that they could never create, and they pat themselves on the back. They've destroyed French culture and replaced it with nothing, just turning nations into commercial zones. So the Tintin artwork from 100 years ago, it's not good or bad. It's culture. It's impossible to judge people from 100 years ago by your modern globalist standards, which will change tomorrow. And you say, so won't you be judged, 100 years later? And they're like, they don't care. Because it's not about that. It's about the grift right now. So that's not tolerance. That's erasing culture and destroying art. They're saying for diversity to work, they must destroy the French artwork or the statues in England and America. So that's not respecting diversity. That's just communists destroying the past like they've always done, or the Taliban does. Diversity means having different cultures, that you accept this French art or English history as it is. If you have globalists redraw it and rewrite it, it's not the diverse, discrete culture of the French artist anymore. You've destroyed it to make it palatable to the new people who don't tolerate the French art of the past. Altering the art to please the globalists destroys it. They're saying that diversity requires the erasing and destruction of history. Well, that's the French being conquered. They're not sharing cultures. One is destroying the other. When they alter the story, they have destroyed the past, erased the foundation, and created some new shallow, commercial, globalist, just garbage. They've said that this is the original art by the creator. This is the art that stood the test of time and made him famous. This is the thing that had the cultural impact, except it's a lie. They simply plagiarized something to push propaganda. This is not the thing itself, it's the globalist approved version of the thing. What they're doing should terrify people, and it would if they knew about it and they actually thought about it. It really shouldn't be shocking. I mean, that's why they keep you so distracted and so busy, and hopefully they're trying to keep you in a state of constant fear, which you've seen over the past few years. If you make people afraid, I guess it's the Hegelian dialectic. You whip them up into a frenzy, and then when they're at peak fear, you go, "Oh, I'll offer you an out. Here's the out here, but you just have to give away some of your liberties, like government surveillance or something like that, or concede a little bit more of your freedom." And you go, wait a minute. How do we know the thing that you used to make us afraid in the first place is actually valid and true? Oh, you don't trust the government media? What are you, some kind of far right istophobic? Yeah, yes, that's the definition of the people who don't trust the government media. People who want to use the method that scientists have used for a long time. Got to be careful saying that on YouTube. I had a video removed when I went through that method. Anyway, so it really shouldn't be shocking that these people have been telling you one thing but doing another. They tell you that this thing is your strength, but in reality it means destroying your art and your history. Your culture must be destroyed to accommodate this new sensibility. Then that's the definition of being conquered. Step by step, they erased the French as if they never existed. They came to France to find the French way of life, but they destroy it to suit them. So now there's nothing left over. It's just every year is year zero. By forcing different things together, they've destroyed the diversity of what was France. The example here is this one little piece of art where they literally altered the art and the story to please their Bolshevik masters. So every year is year zero. Well, what happens a few years from now when whatever they did now is offensive? I'll just rewrite it. I mean, that's the power of the book 1984 or Animal Farm. It's like they'll just rewrite it, and you'll just believe, or you'll pretend to believe, whatever the new thing is. Chocolate rations increased. It's like, yeah, they increased from 20 to 15. Wait, doesn't that mean they decreased? No, they increased. Oh, okay. We were always at war with Oceania. We were never at war with Oceania. Okay, I mean, if they can use force, they can get you to accept anything. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for everyone who has been helping this channel out with the tech, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.